Right, this is the boat. I think it's Scouts really. The hall on Scout Hall, Waiheke Island, January the 22nd, 2015. So this is a peninsula which runs out into the bay. Kennedy Point's just down there, and you can see the full tide. I think it's through 3.1 metre full tide, which is dead low at 2:30. So that back there is where the Scout area is, and it's a bit windy for quadcopter flying today, but it's okay to take the camera for a bit of a walk. You get a bit of an altitude up here, so you got a house behind it, and that's probably the Scout cutter. Up through there's Ostend, and coming through on his dinghy. So as you get out to the end of the peninsula on a fine day, if you had the aquatic quadcopter, one that can land on water, technically could go for a fly, or the quadcopter, if it crashed, it floats, and then you fly a rescue quadcopter out. So I can see in years to come this peninsula being a track for quadcopter flyers who come out and perch on the end of this beautiful area and fly their quadcopters around, and when they fall into the sea, FPV, a rescue quadcopter with two people with FPV glasses and an arm that comes down to pick it out of the water and bring it back for repairs up here, being the future. So this is sort of the end of the peninsula here through the bush, and as you can see with the view from here, you've got a huge ability to see in a whole lot of different directions. Probably it's almost a 360 degree view, and so if you had a little lifeguard tower up there with the FPV goggles on, you get good line of sight all through here, and you can fly across the water, which for me is probably a safer option as drones get more and more used on land where there are people. Having quadcopters flying around ocean and water areas is probably the safest, because it minimises the splashdown effect. So you imagine standing here with your FPV goggles, so you can zoom in and around the different landmarks, and you're able to then rescue them. So at the moment my quadcopter is not waterproof, and I'm unable to rescue it if it lands, apart from rowing a dinghy out. But to me, quadcopter, going to rescue a quadcopter that's ditched in the water, is the future of things. Imagine the Titanic with the ability to do quadcopter out in front and see the iceberg before you actually got to it, FPV with the night starlight, so you could actually have someone flying 3 or 4 kilometres out the front of the boat, just hovering, come back in and land, and another one goes out for protection on sea lanes. So the unmanned drones have got a great potential. I know that radar's improved since then, and that iceberg would be picked up by sonar and the like, but thinking back to 1912, the unsinkable ship had 4 smokestacks, but only 3 of them were used. The last one was just for cosmetic reasons, and it just shows you there was a lot of cosmetic on the Titanic, which proved its undoing. So imagine being able to fly from one side of this island around FPV, then fly back across that side, across the land bridge, and then back to start base. So I can see big quadcopters like dragonflies being used on the sea side of things, and these mini quadcopters also being used because it's easier to lift. 5:1 power ratio. The bigger the quadcopter, the less it can carry, I suppose. Well, not necessarily, but those calculations need to be made out. So I suppose there's going to be a big boat situation at some stage where big quadcopters, how big do they get? FPV, and there you go, multi-rotor. Instead of 4 motors and 1 fails, you're in the ditch, having 8 or 16 propellers and motors, and then if 3 go down or break some blades, you can still fly the thing. So it's going to be exciting in the future to see how that all works out. So anyway, that's a little trip down an area of Waiheke which I think would make a great FPV flying area. Well, I'm going to turn this video off now and save it for a flight a bit later.